She would hang young girls on hooks suspended from the ceiling and lock them in cages lined with spikes. She had their blood collected in buckets and bathed in it. Everything was for beauty. She was one of the greatest female serial killers in history, the Blood Countess. Welcome to Stories for Sleep. Please let us know in the comments where in the world you are listening from and what time it is there. Thank you in advance for supporting us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. The late 16th century was one of the darkest periods in Europe. The Ottoman armies were advancing through the Balkans, while the Habsburgs and the Hungarians fought to the death to defend their lands. And in this turbulent era, at the heart of Transylvania, there was a woman renowned for her beauty. Yet soon her name would be forever tied to blood, Elizabeth Báthory. Today, we know her as the Blood Countess, or the female version of Dracula. Some say she bathed in the blood of virgins to preserve her youth. But that is only a small part of the legend. The truth is far darker, far more stomach-turning. For Bathory's castle had become one of the most terrifying chambers of torture in history. Her story is not only one of the bloodiest chapters in European history, but in all of humanity. Elizabeth was born in 1560. Her family was among the most powerful and distinguished nobility in Europe. The Bathorys owned nearly half of the Kingdom of Hungary. Some of her relatives were even connected by blood to the kings of Poland and Lithuania. Born into this immense power, young Elizabeth received an extraordinary education. She could speak Latin, German, Greek, and Hungarian. She was given the finest schooling a princess could receive: philosophy, history, literature, music, and diplomacy. Yet this splendid childhood was also one in which brutality was normalized. According to accounts, when Elizabeth was still a little girl, her family would take her along as they inflicted violence on peasants. It is said she witnessed a thief being flayed alive and a servant beaten to death with whips. These images left deep scars on her mind. Violence became not something to fear, but something ordinary. From an early age, watching the flow of human blood did not terrify her. Instead, it gave her a strange sense of pleasure. At the age of 15, Elizabeth was married to Ferenc Nadasdy, a powerful count. This union brought together not only two people, but two great dynasties. The young countess moved into Chakticha Castle. In time, this place would not be remembered as a fairy tale fortress, but as a site of torture and death. Ferenc was a ruthless warrior, famed for his battles against the Ottomans. He was known as the Black Knight. Stories of the tortures he inflicted on captured Ottoman soldiers spread far and wide. He would seat them on boiling oil, cut open their stomachs, and strip the skin from their bodies. Elizabeth learned much from this husband. While Ferenc was away at war, she ruled the castle alone, controlling the servants and peasants. And it was during this time that her true darkness began to reveal itself. According to legend, the first murder happened by chance. One day, as a young maid was combing Elizabeth's hair, she accidentally hurt her. Enraged, the Countess struck the girl so hard that her nose began to bleed. The blood splattered onto Elizabeth's hand. At that moment, she looked into the mirror and thought the skin on her hand appeared more radiant where the blood had touched it. That instant marked the beginning of her obsession. Blood was youth. Blood was beauty. Blood was immortality. From then on, the blood of young girls became, for her, Not only death, but the elixir of beauty. At first, she targeted only her servants. She punished the girls in the castle, torturing them to death. According to witness testimonies, Elizabeth's methods included pulling out the girls' fingernails one by one, pressing their hands and feet against red-hot irons, starving them until they were forced to gnaw on their own flesh, sometimes making them wear gloves filled with needles, forcing them to scratch their own bodies. And each time, she took a strange pleasure in watching the blood flow. For a time, she contented herself with peasant girls, but this did not satisfy her hunger. She craved ever more beautiful, ever younger victims. To achieve this, she devised a new method, inviting the daughters of noble families to her castle. She claimed she would teach them sewing, refinement, and the ways of nobility. Trusting her, the families sent their daughters, but many never returned. Rumors began to spread. At first, they were only whispers. Young girls go to Bathory's castle and never come back. Yet no one dared raise their voice against such a powerful family. Over time, Countess Castle turned into a death factory. According to legend, the entire basement was converted into torture chambers. Witnesses recounted, girls were hung on hooks suspended from the ceiling. They were locked inside cages lined with spikes. In winter, they were stripped naked and laid upon the snow. Their blood was drained and collected in buckets. The most horrifying tale was this. Elizabeth had a special contraption built for bathing. The girls' throats were slit, their blood gathered, and the bath filled with it. Thus, legend and reality intertwined. The bloodbath became the symbol of her obsession with immortality. By the 1600s, the rumors could no longer be silenced. In witness testimonies, the numbers varied wildly. 30 victims, 100 victims. But the most shocking statement came from Elizabeth's servant, Ilona. Our mistress killed 650 young girls. With this, she was recorded in history as one of the greatest serial killers of all time. In 1610, the king sent soldiers to the castle. What they found there was more horrifying than the legends themselves. Half-dead young girls in the cells. Rooms turned into pools of blood. Instruments of torture, chains, and red-hot irons. Elizabeth's accomplices were captured immediately. Under torture, their confessions confirmed the Countess's orders. Her accomplices were burned alive or beheaded. But Elizabeth was never tried in public, for the kingdom did not want this scandal to shake Europe. Instead, a different punishment was chosen for her. She was entombed alive. 1610, a room in Countess Castle was chosen. Its windows and door were bricked shut, leaving only a small opening through which food could be passed. Elizabeth lived in this dark cell for 4 years. Slowly, she descended into madness. It is said she kept journals and carved marks into the walls with her fingernails. In 1614, she was found dead. Some claimed she had starved to death, while others believed she had taken her own life. Even today, the debates continue. Did she really kill 650 people? Or were the numbers exaggerated? One thing is certain. Her name is forever tied to blood and brutality. Who do you think was the most terrifying woman in history?